it's Dr. Pryor, and I am coming to you to talk about my videos. And so the next couple weeks I'm going to be talking about topics for the summer, since this is the first week of summer. And last weekend I went for a walk with a little group that I went with, and we ended up walking farther than I thought we were. And so instead of being out in the morning only, it ended up going until 1:30, and I was not prepared, and so I got a sunburn. And yes, I want to show you it's healing. And so I'm getting the skin flakies, the skin flakies, but I would have rather not got burned because that was not very fun. Very painful right here on my back right there. So next week I'm going to be talking about safe sunscreens, because if you're going out for short bursts, you don't need a sunscreen, but if you're going to be out for a large chunk of time like I was, you really need a sunscreen, because the lights UVA and UVB, they come through and they really can put a nasty burn on you. So that's what we're going to talk about next week. And then the week after, we're going to talk about insects, especially mosquitoes, because these pesky things, they just bug the heck out of me, and I hate getting mosquito bites. So yeah, just letting you guys know. And the next coming weeks we're going to be talking about summer concerns. This video today, I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about safety in the heat. Okay, so safety in the heat is very important. I am very, good in the heat. I, don't have a lot of body fat. I am fine. I was in the military. We did a lot of things out in the heat. But even us fit military people had to be safe in the heat at times, especially when the humidity went up, because humidity really causes you not to be able to evaporate the sweat on your body and cool off, because that's our primary way we cool off as humans. And it's really important to acclimate to the heat, because if you just go out and you've been, say, sitting in your house where you keep it so cool, and you haven't acclimated to the heat at all, and then you go out to a really hot day, you will sweat, but your sweat will be very concentrated. You'll be putting out a lot of salts and electrolytes in your sweat. So it takes about 2 weeks to acclimate to heat. So go outside, start spending a little more time in the heat so you can get acclimated to it. And then after about 2 weeks, your sweat really becomes less saline and more just liquid, so it can evaporate and you are not sweating out so many of your electrolytes. So it's a little safer at that point. So you need to acclimate to the heat. And when you're feeling too hot, make sure you seek cover in a shaded area, because you can go from being overheated to heat exhaustion very quickly. And then heat stroke is a serious complication where your body temperature has risen to a point that it's damaging your brain. So heat stroke is scary. And so you don't want to get to that point. When you start feeling overheated, take a break, find a shaded area, sit down, cool off. And always, when you're outside in the heat, always have water source and drink lots of water, because you can become dehydrated very quickly, and that will cause you to have a reaction where you could faint, where you won't be able to handle the heat very well when you're dehydrated. Yeah, so make sure you drink lots of water. And if you're going to be out in the heat for a long time, don't just drink water. You need to replace the electrolytes. So putting a pinch of salt in the water, or like they have these electrolyte tabs, put those in the water, yeah, and use that, because heat exhaustion, you don't want to get to that point, and heat stroke, you never want to get to that point, because after you have a heat stroke, you will never be able to handle the heat as well as before you had a heat stroke. So yeah, and also when you're outside, wear light layers that, the sweat can come through and you can evaporate off the sweat from the layers, like cotton, and they have some really quick dry fabrics now. Yeah, so be safe out there this summer. Next week, tune in. We're going to talk about sunscreen, safe ones. And the week after, we're going to talk about insects, mosquitoes. Ugh, hate those things. So yeah, I hope y'all have a nice summer, and I love you as always. If you could like this button and hit the subscribe button, I'd thank you. And yeah, have a good night. Bye.